Hey, it's Mikkel with the Monson Schoolhouse. Welcome to my channel. If you don't know me, I'm new on YouTube. I am actually also new at homeschooling. I just started homeschooling this last year. I homeschool my 10-year-old daughter and I homeschool my 8-year-old boys. And I also have a 4-year-old that I'm kind of working with, teaching him how to read, and he'll be with us in the fall for kindergarten. So today I'm going to share some tips, I guess you could say, on how to transition your child or children from public school to homeschool. Now, these things are what we did with our family, and they seem to work. And just background, our family has been in public school our entire school experience. So my kids knew nothing besides the public school system. I knew nothing besides the public school system. My husband knew nothing besides the public school system. That's all we knew. We really didn't have anywhere to go, any resources to kind of get advice on how to do that. And a lot of the homeschool moms I talked to were homeschooling from the start. So they hadn't had experience with the transition as much as I needed. Their advice was, don't make homeschool like public school. Well, that's all my kids were used to was public school. Here we go. Tips on how to transition your child from public school to homeschool. Okay, so first, what we did was, before we even brought them home, we made sure that the decision was not only ours, but it was theirs also. So I went to each one of them individually, and I told them why I felt impressed to bring them home. And I told them, actually asked them if they'd be willing to pray and fast about it. And they were. I came to them after we fasted and prayed, and I asked, how they felt about this decision. And they were just, yeah, they were gung-ho. Let's do it. I feel great. So we all got that confirmation together as a family, and we got that confirmation individually. And I thoroughly believe an 8-year-old can have that kind of confirmation themselves. So for me and my family, that was just a good starting point. We all got the confirmation from the Lord to go forward. I felt it was very important to provide real closure for them in public school. Now, I started homeschooling my daughter in the fall last year. So she started homeschooling when the school year started, which was a natural thing for her. So it was really easy for her to transition. However, my boys, I just felt very impressed, and I felt such urgency to bring them home. So I brought my boys home in the middle of the year. I let them finish out the first semester. So it was after Christmas break that I brought them home. I know that looked really weird to so many people, and they were probably like, why don't you just let them finish out the year? But I answered to the Lord, and the Lord told me to bring them home. So I brought them home in January. Now, that was a little harder because you don't have as much closure. You don't have the end of the school year parties and everyone says goodbye and you sign the yearbooks and you go home. So in their case, there wasn't a real closure. So within the first week of homeschooling, when the public schools were back in, I brought them back to school. I let them say goodbye to their teachers. Their teachers were so kind and nice, and they made these little goodbye books, and all the students signed it, and all their friends came up and gave them a hug, and they said goodbye. Kind of sent them off. I noticed a change in my boys. They were just ready to go forward. So that was really important in our situation, was a formal closure to the public school life. The next one, I really felt the need to make it familiar to them and kind of mirror, at least in the first two to 4 weeks, to mirror the public school schedule. I did this because that's all they knew. All they knew was public school. I just felt that it was very important to bring them into a school setting that they understood and that they knew, because the public school setting is all they knew. So I actually had written down their school schedule from the public school, from their classroom, and I kind of just followed that kind of outline. That really helped us to where it wasn't as big of an adjustment. And then I could slowly weed out that, structured schedule. I could kind of weed that out. But in the beginning, it was really helpful to us. And it kind of helped them know that they were still doing school, and that was school to them. It wasn't such a shock to come home and do school at home. Another thing I did was I made sure to add in lots of fun activities in the beginning. So add in lots of craft time, science experiments, fun, interactive stuff that keeps the day moving. And to fill the day, you're not going to want, at least for my family and my boys, you're not going to want a lot of empty spaces. First of all, if there's dead space, that leaves room for sibling bickering, people to get frustrated. Idle time is not good in the beginning. Make sure to make our day be rolling, plan things, schedule. For transitioning, that worked for us. Adding lots of field trips. I still do field trips, but in the beginning it was really important because it gave them something to look forward to, and it made homeschool, it set homeschool apart from public school. So every Friday, or at least every other Friday, we were on a field trip. We went to the museum, we went to the Oregon Symphony, we went to a fire station, we went to a garden. Another thing, when you're out on the field trip, remind them, say, you know where your friends are right now? They're sitting in desks. It's 1:30 or 2 o'clock. Your friends are still in school for 30 minutes or 45 more minutes. Fill the day, lots of interactive activities. Make their lunches super awesome in the beginning. So public school, they had 15-minute lunch. So they were literally like scarfing down their food. My kids said they could hardly finish their food. Just made nasty peanut butter and jelly sandwiches that were smashed and disgusting, and I'm sure the sandwiches were all soggy and gross. My kids also said they couldn't talk during lunch. I don't know if that's true. Also said they couldn't share their food at public school. Why don't we pass around our food? Share it. Just get what they want. Make it awesome. Sit down together. Read some poetry while you're eating lunch. Laugh, talk. Make it leisurely. And again, point out that their friends in public school have to eat in only 15 minutes and scarf down their food. Make it so it's so fun, and eat treats. Extend those recesses. Make them so long. Make it really special and fun. Because then when it's special and fun, they're going to be like, yeah, this is way better. Like, I can actually finish my whole lunch. Moving on to the reality. The first 2 weeks for us was really, really rough. It was a 2-week period of transition, and it was really heavy, really hard. Emotionally, there was crying. There was definitely like a notice of change in these little 8-year-old boys. And when I say that, my daughter had no problem. She just went into homeschool. It's like she was born to homeschool. This is for my 8-year-old boys. So there was 2 weeks of a real time where we were being tested if we were going to stick with this decision. This is when it is so important to do the first thing that I said, to have a conviction in your reason for homeschooling. Whatever that reason is, hold strong to that reason. Have that strong conviction. Because when you bring your kids home, there will be a transition period. At least for our family there was. I can't say for everyone. There will be a time of testing ground where you're gonna doubt. Okay? That's just this life. You're going to have that opposition come at you. And that was hard. I'm not gonna lie. That was a really hard time. And all those doubts that are coming at you, those are not coming from the light. Those are coming from the adversary. If you have that conviction, stick with it. It's going to be hard in the beginning. It will be. You're going to get that opposition and it's going to be hard, but you need to battle back with that conviction of why you're doing it. Stick with that. Because there was a reason you felt to homeschool in the beginning. There was a reason. Do not give up on that reason. Remember that reason. Write it down right now. Why you're going to homeschool. Write it down and remember it and stick by it. And you know what? If worst comes to worst, get on your knees and pray and ask Heavenly Father to remind you why. I do that sometimes. get on your knees and say, remind me, why am I doing this? And you know what? You'll be sent a little tender mercy, a little light, and maybe your kid will just get the math concept that day. Just know you will be tested. Hold strong, get through that test, and the blessings are going to pour in. And it's not like the test will end. There will be little periods of testing here and there, and it's never going to end. You're going to have those times, but you're going to know how to battle back. And honestly, our decision, would I pull my kids out in the middle of the year again? Yeah, because it was the right decision. So I don't regret it one bit. I think it was perfect. I actually feel like I left them in school too long, so I wouldn't regret a thing. Anyway, those are my experiences, and take whatever you need, whatever can help you. I hope that helped you a little bit. I make these videos to inspire people and to help people. I don't expect anything back, and I really don't have time to make the videos. So the only reason I'm doing it is because it is very strong. It's a very strong impression, and I have to do it so that I can move on with the rest of my day. I hope to see you guys soon. I do have a lot more videos coming up. I'm wanting to do my 3rd grade curriculum video. I have so many other things to do, but I just do them in the order that the Spirit prompts me to do them. So anyway, I hope you guys have a good day, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.